Howdy folks, Stray Cat 74 here. We're outside at my forgery of solitude, or the forge, or the tent, or the whatever. Take you on a quick tour here. As you can see, it's not really all that big. My brother and my nephews spent 2 days leveling out the floor here, and I'm very grateful for that. Here's the railroad track anvil. We found out that it was very difficult to weld to, so we had to, instead of centered on the tractor axle there, we had to give it a little bit more bracing, or else it'll, it could break off. Here is my Peter Wright, very expensive anvil, well, $500 used. Best I can tell is about 150 years old. The tree stump we actually came across at random yesterday. And there were a couple of guys taking down a tree that had fallen because of the storms recently. Gave them $20 to put it in the back of the van, and, well, they didn't actually charge us for the wood, just the $20 to pick up the son of a bitch. There's the gnome sword, keeping me company. The anvil has moved around since I've been hammering on it. I got to work on that a little bit. It was in the center here, and it's slowly working its way off the edge. This piece right here is still incredibly warm. It's been sitting out for well over an hour, and I'm going to be turning that into a hot cut hardy eventually. Let's see, then we've got the bench itself. Oh, here's the old anvil stump over there. We put some stain on the bottom so that it wouldn't start decaying, but then again, that's also pressure-treated lumber. The red rag is just sitting there for the sake of no reason. There's the foundry, whenever I get done emptying all the stuff out of there. That's a piece off the railroad track anvil. Matter of fact, it went right there, so that when we cut it for shape, to give it a little bit of a horn effect. So there's the tank with the adjustable regulator. Borax for if and or when I get around to learning to forge weld. Some chisels and punches. Let me turn the light on because I seem to be standing in the light a little bit. Drill bits, some brass, some nuts and bolts, files, a couple of hammers. The rest of the hammers are over here. Here's what I've been entertaining myself with for the most part. It's starting to take shape. It's actually not too shabby. It's also not too straight either, but it is a work in progress. The spine is a lot thicker. The edge of the blade is a lot narrower, so it's getting there. This is actually turning out not turning out too shabby. So, but what you really want to see, other than my various piles of stuff, railroad spikes, farrier's rasp, a couple of more pieces of O1 steel that I bought, some lawnmower blades, most of those are mulching blades. Here's another piece of the railroad track anvil, that's off the horn part of it. There's another one of those laying around in the garage someplace. I don't know where it is yet. It's in there. We'll go to that later. I'll go look for it later. This is the sand and plaster inside. And as you can see, it's starting to scorch my damn table, so I need to get another fire brick that had been sitting over here, and it's still fucking hot. It's been out for an hour. That right there had been sitting there to just a precaution to keep the heat off of there, but it it went into there. So I need to get another fire brick to put over here. I need to get 3 more so that I could stack them, because with the stacked, it should be just about, well, that's still fucking hot. Just about even with the lip of the forge, and as you can see, you can still see straight through it. The burn collars worked pretty much the way I wanted them to, with the exception. See all of this black crud? Yeah. All of that black crud is the JB Weld I put on there, trying to hold these burn collars in place. Not so much. Also, it got so freaking hot, the tape right here melted. That's something the last one did not do. But then again, the last one only had 15 or 20,000 BTU in it. With both of those burners going at 10 pounds of pressure, it's putting 40,000 BTU of heat into that little thing. You can see the end here is all scorched. I'm not going to touch this, by the way. Matter of fact, let me do it this way. That way I don't burn myself and I can still point. Ha ha! All up in here, scorched to hell and gone. This inside is really not durable. It is literally sand and plaster of Paris. You can see there's a bunch of fucking cracks in here. So this one's not going to last long. At least not compared to the last one I made. You know, any friction at all, it's just wearing that away. I don't think I used enough sand in there. Yeah, I know. I should have measured, and I didn't. I thought, you know, close enough. Well, all of the materials here... Let me back up. Damn it. Oh, sorry about that. Was getting some of the dust off the lens there. The feet, the forge body, the refractory lining, all of that is inexpensive as hell. It's 2 ravioli cans that we ate the ravioli out of. Not in one sitting. Over the course of, well, one was dinner and one was like 2 weeks later we had ravioli dinner again. So, you know, there's 5 guys in the house. Me, my brother, his 2 sons, and my son. So, you know, and every single one of us is over the age of 16. Matter of fact, Jake is 16. Elwood, yes, I'm not kidding. My brother's kids are Jake and Elwood. Elwood and Jared, my son, are both 18. So, yeah, number 10 can barely fed all 5 of us, okay? The burn collars, with the exception of leaning back way too far, they were supposed to be up at an angle like this, so that the flame hit exact center in the bottom there. With the failing of the JB Weld, it's blowing. You can see the dark mark right there from where it's blowing on. It's blowing on the wall. The improved nozzles here. I say improved because we found a way to... That's going to be hot, so... This is a piece of black pipe. Little welding here, little welding there. Then we're still using the end cap with the 025 MIG tips. Ball valve for shutoff. We've got our little manifold here. And then goes back and comes down there. So there you have it. It works. We need to do a couple of few things to improve it. I need fire brick. I need a better way to secure the burn collars. And another thing I want to point out. So if you look at this nozzle, I had that one on and running for a while. And I had this one off. The chimney effect of the heat rising up through the tube discolored all of this right in here. It was hot to the touch. I almost couldn't touch the valve to cut it on. And as soon as I did that, this cooled down a lot, but the radiant heat off of this, I can't get more than about that close or else I'll burn my frickin' hand off. It's intensely hot. So the chimney effect there is still, you know, it's still going to roast my nozzles. I have seen one where they come straight out the top and take a 90-degree turn and have the nozzles, you know, way back over here. These are just straight burners, so it doesn't have all that fancy crap on it. But, you know, I don't necessarily do anything fancy anyway. I've got air and some light. And, you know, it's just, right at the moment, it's just an extension cord going that way. We're going to try and work out something a little more permanent, you know, as time goes on. So, there we have it. Nice little workshop area. That is with that light on, so it gets much darker with it off. But with the forge going and with the glowing of the metal on the anvil, so that I can judge the heat, you know, I think I kind of want it a little bit dark. So it's also, let me come back here just a little bit. Come over here to the electric geo. It's also right in and amongst the trees, so as soon as the afternoon, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that's already mostly in shade. The rough outside edge is right at, you know, where the tree line starts blocking the sun. But it looks like we're going to have some rain here too. So, pardon all of the mess. I'm trying to not show you all of the mess. I'll show you the Jeep tire. Tire off a Jeep. Old Jeep, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah. That's where I stand. Well, actually, I'm standing behind the camera, but that's beside the pointless. And I'll get you more information as it comes. Already showed you the gnome sword. That is not tempered or heat treated in any fashion. It's just O1 steel. And that was, like I said, just proof of concept. You know, that I could actually make a knife. This one is an attempt at something more knife-shaped. And that will eventually be, and I'm burning my finger here, a hardy tool. So, right. Well, let's go back inside. We'll edit this up and post it to YouTube. Thank you for following me. Thank you for liking and subscribing, which I don't have a lot of subscribers, but thank you anyway. And mostly, I'm doing this to entertain myself. I hope I'm entertaining you, at least to some degree or another. And we'll see you. Well, I'll be out here tomorrow. I might even do a video tomorrow. Oh my goodness, 2 updates in a week? Or 3 or more? But in any case, see you next time. I just have to turn this around and stop.
better.
Want to keep the spine straight and belly, give it a little bit more of a belly. I'm also trying to taper it so I got less grinding to do.
Yeah.
And I've got my little camera there set up.
Ah.
I'm trying to keep the blade at least mostly straight. So you can see
Hi guys.
So you can see how thick the spine here is.
Yeah.
And how thick the blade edge is.
Yeah.
So I got quite a bit to go yet.
Well, it's starting to take shape.
That's one of the things the horn is used for, is squeeze the material. Well, you use it to round, but you also use it to squeeze the material.
Right.
So by squeezing the material that way, get more of a belly, I can keep that spine straight. It won't be a great knife, but it'll probably be a good tool.
Yeah.
And I got...
No, I'm sorry.